If one day you hang out with your friends and ask them who the apex predator of the oceans is, the first thing that will probably come to their minds is sharks. Yes, while our oceans are home to many dangerous creatures like orcas, sperm whales, and giant squids, people still believe that sharks hold the reins. But if we look at the big picture, the claim of sharks as apex predators is relatively recent, because sharks took over at the end of the Mesozoic era, 66 million years ago, when marine reptiles disappeared. So, if you're subscribed, yes, if you're subscribed, let's take a closer look at the adaptations that these creatures went through during their golden age. Another name for this golden age is the Carboniferous period. Today, it's mostly known for giant insects and amphibians, but the oceans of that era were also very lively. There were ocean systems that we would never encounter today. The largest was the Panthalassic Ocean. This ocean was located in the east and covered more than half of the globe. If you were to try to cross this ocean in a commercial airplane in search of action, you would have to buckle up for a journey of almost 24 hours. To be more precise, a flight from New York to Sydney, Australia is estimated at around 20 hours. Now you understand how thalassophobia inducing this ocean can be. Now let's look at what mysteries lie beneath these violent waves. For example, the Helicoprionidae family, which includes the Campyloprion Shark, the largest animal of its era, the Carboniferous period, is quite prominent. These fish are most famous for their iconic saw-like or rotary saw-like teeth. The most popular child of this family is the Helicoprion. The most striking feature of this cute giant was the tooth structure on its lower jaw. By the way, if you want to avoid encountering this guy, I suggest you don't wander too much in Russian waters. The reason is that this fellow is the top predator in that region. This shark was 6.5 meters, 21 feet long. Let's also take into account that the largest known great white shark is 20 feet. By the way, the dimensions I'm talking about are based on the findings of the 15-inch teeth of the creature. If you have a different opinion about this, please let me know in the comments. A tooth of this size is about the same size as a baby chihuahua. Scientists estimate that this enormous predator had a bite force of around 2,000 newtons. When we compare this value to that of a hyena, it's almost 2 times less, because spotted hyenas have a jaw force of 4,500 newtons, giving them a huge advantage over these fish. Having said all this, I can add that Helicoprion sharks ruled the oceans in the Permian period, not in the Golden Age. If these animals triggered your thalassophobia, listen to the Campyloprion Shark. This creature's teeth are similar to Helicoprion's but have a more spirally curved appearance. These teeth had the potential to grow up to 9 meters, 30 feet long, so it was about the same length as the whale shark. Add in the fact that the whale shark is the largest shark today, and the picture changes. This dominant species usually roamed the waters of Russia and the United States, but we don't know exactly how this creature, like Helicoprion, used its teeth to catch prey. One of the first ideas is that it hunted soft-bodied prey, such as jellyfish, squid, or octopuses. So the Campyloprion shark would have used its huge teeth to tear and swallow such creatures. But new research has suggested that when the shark's teeth come into contact with the shell, they tear it apart. So this seems to be a kind of shell dissolution effect, and when tested, if we consider the bite force of the Campyloprion shark to be around 2,300 newtons, in practice, this was strong enough to break the shell of hard-shelled creatures like the average turtle or prehistoric nautilus, and reach the soft body of the animal inside that shell. But it wasn't the only big fish in this league. Of course, there were sharks that followed a different evolutionary path and had smaller bodies. But the Saivodus Shark is definitely not one of them. This shark belongs to the family Ctenacanthiformes. This family presents us with creatures that mimic modern sharks, but with similar but still distinct characteristics. The second dorsal fin was quite useful, in some species even more so than the first. Presumably, this adaptation arose to stabilize or reduce friction, but with this second dorsal fin, a different feature developed. Each fin had a spine. These spines created an imbalance of power, both in competition between individuals and as a deterrent against other predators. Obviously, we still don't know exactly what these spines are, but my personal opinion, and you can share yours in the comments section if you like, is that these spines could be a kind of sexual connotation. And some researchers think that these structures are only found in male individuals. Of course, this is just my opinion. So, it doesn't contain any sources. Also, sharks in this family hunted in shallow waters. They had ecologies more similar to modern tiger sharks, and their average body size was shaped by these ecosystems and reached similar sizes. But over time, the largest known species of the Ctenacanthiformes family lived in open waters, the Saivodus Shark. This shark can be compared to today's great whites because, at one point, everything could fit in their mouths. That's a bit too cozy, I think. Anyway, at 3 centimeters or more in length, based on their dentition, they were probably up to 6 to 7 meters long. Particularly large adults could reach sizes of up to 8.5 meters. Although their teeth didn't evolve for cutting, they were longer than the average great white. If one of these guys bit you and you were lucky, there was a 1% chance that you would survive and survive hundreds of tiny daggers stabbing you. But maybe, speaking of survival, after these sharks, a group with all kinds of expertise in dental structures came into play in Mesozoic waters. Xenacanthus Familia. Comparing the dentition of any one of these creatures to another was like playing Russian roulette. This family evolved by adapting to all kinds of environments, and, in general, its members developed a variety of dental structures to crush, tear, grasp, or cut their prey. They were equipped with multifunctional teeth, but their body structure was also very strong. Although they didn't reach very abnormal sizes, the largest member could reach 4.5 to 5 meters. The interesting thing is that they usually had a spine-like development on the top of their head or slightly behind it. They also had different tooth structures, but in general, members of the Xenacanthus Familia were slow swimmers and tended to lunge towards their prey with fast attacks. This family became more adaptable as time went on, and during the Mesozoic waters, they outlived the golden age of sharks. These sharks meant that in any wetland, you could expect to find a shark or two waiting for you. And to make matters worse, the fresh water at that time was much friendlier to sharks than it is today. Today, there are sharks living in India's Ganges River. Of course, they are not members of the Xenacanthus Familia, but I'd like you to get to know them. Glyphus gangeticus shark. But that's not our topic right now. Ironically, in some members of this group, the Barbclabornia Shark, for example, these spine-like structures are not so prominent, and they don't really need them. Up to 5 meters long, these sharks lived in North America. Given their large size, you might think that this creature could kill just by looking at it, but it was the most harmless of the Xenacanthus Familia. Its teeth were so small that paleontologists thought it was a filter feeder. But this meant that even microscopic organisms were not safe. So what happened to make these successful apex predators so weak? I can summarize it in 2 words: double apocalypse. Just as they had achieved dominance, Mother Nature stopped them. She was probably tired of playing house. That's all for today. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you want to share what you know about these unique animals with your friends or tell me about them in the comments, I will be happy to read them. So, see you both in the comments, and until next time.